All right, guys, so I tried a little bit of a trade here. Again, not the normal trading hours that I normally trade, but we just got off the call. We just talked about, making one more adjustment to this overall, strategy model. And I wanted to take a trade. So we made about $500, $600 on this trade. I traded five micro contracts. I threw it on an evaluation. That way there was no harm done in case something went wrong on me on a funded account, but solely for testing purposes. So here was a setup, okay? And I want to make this as clear as possible. So try to stay with me here, and I've got a drawing tool which you guys will be able to see. But what I was looking at here was the bias is down, okay? Why is the bias down? Well, we've been trading below this 20 period moving average, right? The 20 SMA. We've been trading below this essentially all day. We had that grind up to start the morning. We did close over the 20 SMA. However, there was no confirmation of a close over back test and a confirmation of a new high takeout, right? So if there was no confirmation of a new high takeout going against the trend, there's no long here. Okay, there's no long. So what you're doing is if the original trade idea, the original bias coming into the open was short, allow it to back test, right? That was the change that we made. We're not going to short into the hole off the open, even if it confirms. We've got to wait for a back test. And the back test that we want to see is into this 20 SMA. Okay, we need to see the back test into the 20 SMA. On this particular trade off the open, once it re-lost the 20 SMA, you could have fired here and then using your 1 minute chart to kind of, or 2 minute chart to kind of pick your candle entry would be the idea. Now, the trade that I took was right in here. It was a short trade. Now, what am I looking at? Bias is still short. We're trading below the 20 period moving average. So when I seen us start to bounce, we bounced yet again into, right? We bounced yet again into the 20 SMA. Do I want to go long here against the trend? No. What is going to make me want to take this higher? If we close over the 20 SMA, boom, we put in a new high, we back test, and the new high gets taken out. That's the only way we can go long. The only way we can go long on a reverse trend move. If it bounces into your supply, 20 SMA, even if it closes over, we are not going to chase this long. We're not going to chase this long, even if it confirms. Because what you need to see against a trend is a new high, a back test, and then new high needs to be taken out, okay? So when we fail to take out the new high after the back test, and we fail to take out that new high, that invalidates me wanting to go long. So what I'm looking at is a rejection. I'm looking at a rejection, a stalled out dead cat bounce back into our supply, which is a 20 SMA. I've got a very definitive stop loss here above the high, and I marked out this box because I'm taking this high here on the right-hand side is my 2 minute chart. I'm taking this high and I'm taking this swing high, right? So I'm creating a zone. This is my stop loss, okay? That's my stop loss on a short. So now we closed back under the 20 SMA. Great. I'm not going to just jump this short through the 20 SMA because what if this is just a continuation pullback to take out the long high, right? So what do I need to see? Closure below the 20 SMA. I need to see a back test. And remember, on the back test into my 20, I want to play an entry off the 2 minute candle. So if we look at the 2 minute candle, once we kind of closed below the 20 SMA on the 15 minute, we bounced. I just fired a short position in here, guys. I'm looking to get the best prices possible. So I want to get short somewhere in this region, close to this 20 SMA, because I know my stop loss is here. A prior structure high, right? That's my zone. If this continues to do something like this, where it kind of reclaims and then continues and then goes through my zone, well, I've got to take the loss here, right? How many points was I giving up? Let's go over that. If I'm firing a long here or a short here at around 875, let's call it, my stop loss was over 925. So I'm giving up 50 points, okay? I'm giving up from my entry here to here, all of this range, I'm giving up 50 points. Okay? So that's my stop loss. Now, I want the best price, so on this back test, you're going to see on my 15-minute chart, you see this wick that goes right into the 20 SMA? That's this price action here. That's the wick. That's the rejection. Close below the 20 SMA, back test the 20. So there's your break and retest. Now we're firing short here. I've got a great price. I've got my stop loss here. Just sit in a damn move. And whatever. I mean, Burks posted up that Trump released some tariff news on China and this sunk. So when this started to shoot down here in these candles, like somewhere here, I don't know. I just took profits, whatever. It was like $500 and something. I think I got like, I don't know, 60 points or something. I'm not too sure. But hey, it worked, right? So that's what we need to see. If we're going against the trend, right, and you're going to go long, you need the closure, you need the new high over the trend break, you need the back test, but you need the new high to be taken out. That's the only way you can go long, okay? So here's your trend break, here's your back test. You need the new high to be taken out, then you go long. If you're going against the trend on the 15-minute time frame, trend is down. If you're going with the trend, allow it to be broken. That high, that structure high, is your stop loss. You're waiting for it to re-lose the 20 SMA, and then you're just waiting for a little back test, and you're trying to get a better price on that run up. You're trying to get in short on the run up into the declining supply, and then you're gonna, target a prior structure low, right? Or target your 30 points, or target your 50 points, or 100 points, or whatever, right? You could target this daily 10, you can target 714s, doesn't really matter. The trade's still intact here. I mean, I would have made a shit ton more money here as it just continues to go down, but hey, the structure works. The model works. So that's what you need to be focused on, is when you get the setup, the closure below the 20 SMA, you want to see the back test on the smaller time frame. You want to see the back test on the smaller time frame. You want to get that better price closer to the back test rejection, and then you're using the structure, previous structure high or low, depending on if the setup is long or short. You're using that as your stop loss. Okay, and that's also matching up with your daily 5 SMA. Look at how we got rejected the daily 5, and this is really starting to wash out here. This is absolutely insane. But just wanted to show you guys that it's got to back test. If you take anything away from everything I'm telling you, it's got to back test. Okay, you're wondering when to get in, it's got to back test. That's all you need to focus on. It breaks the 20 SMA, you're going with the bias, it's got to back test before you can get in. Okay, it's got to back test. If you're going against the trend, where let's say we reclaim the 20 SMA bias, it's got to back test, and it's got to confirm the new high. If you're against the trend, it's got to back test, and it's got to confirm the new high. If you're going with the trend, you get the closure below the 20 SMA, it's got to back test, and you're getting in on the back test using the prior structure high or low as your stop loss. That's it. The only thing we're not waiting for if we're going with the trend is a confirmation of the new low. I want the better price with the trend. If we're going against the trend, we're waiting for the back test. We're waiting for the confirmation of the new high or low, depending on if you're long or short. And here's our set magical 714 number again, guys. That magical 714 number again is yet in play again. So maybe we lose it now. Maybe that 714 becomes resistance. And if it does, we've got room all the way down to 19,414. But I'll see all of you guys on the inside.